Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World. Welcome to the Breakdown Podcast. And we have got a lot to discuss. Yusuf Salech scoring goals, Ryan Wintle masterclass. The youngsters are playing well. And of course, another win, still top of the league. But we have a massive game on Tuesday away at Stevenage. And of course, we got the club statement on the Yusuf Salech case. Yusuf Salech, Emiliano Sala case to discuss, which look, it's not a nice subject, but I think we have to talk about it, and I want to talk about the club statement because I was fascinated by it. I got to be honest. So we'll get to that in just a minute, but for the meantime, let's start off on yesterday. I thought it was an excellent performance. First and foremost, I thought that. I thought Huddersfield were quite fortunate to get a couple of goals, if I'm honest. I don't think 3-2 really reflected the way the game panned out, but Cardiff have got to maybe stop switching off at certain points and giving away these goals, letting teams back into it. That is something that, a better team will make you pay for. I just don't quite know what to do. I don't know what's going on with the connection on the interweb at the moment. It's all a bit blurry and it's all a bit weird. I'm going to try and fix it as I'm going, but let's have a look. But yeah, look, it's I just did a Stevenage podcast as well, which was kind of interesting. Nice little insight into them as well. I think that's out tomorrow. I'll give it a share. Let's have a look what's going on with that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. It's all a bit blurry. I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll see if we've got a thing. If not, we might have to switch over. We might have to switch devices. But we'll keep going for a minute. The audio seems to be okay. If I can find it while I'm talking, he says. So yeah, I thought it was an all-round excellent performance. I thought Yusuf Salech was superb. I thought Kean Ashford was excellent. Who else was that? And actually, I thought Dylan had a bit of a shaky second half. I thought he was really good in the first half, but I thought he had a bit. But look, I say shaky. He just wasn't quite at his usual incredible standards. But in fairness to him, he's a young man. He's still learning his trade. And, you expect that. And it wasn't like he was terrible. He just a couple of misplaced passes. Defensively, he was still pretty good. So we shall see. He says, I can't even plug it in. Fucking piece of shit. Hey. Technology. Hey, technology. What are you going to do? Right. I might have to switch to my phone, guys. I can't be having this camera picture. It's all over the place. On my screen, it looks perfect, by the way. Beautiful 4K. But for some reason on YouTube, it's absolutely horrendous. So we might switch over now, but I see if I can do that seamlessly now while still talking. I thought Ryan Wintle was absolutely superb. And look, right, I am absolutely here for it. I was one who thought that, he should probably go in the summer. And I think he's just got better and better as the season goes. And it was interesting. Our sort of ropey period that we had has probably coincided with when he had a bit of a rest and when he wasn't in the side, which is that in itself is interesting because it shows how vital he is to it. Look, I think Huddersfield will be up there. I think they have a slight issue with defence.
They seem to really struggle.
Right, let's take him out. Because it's just, I just didn't think they were all that like defensively. I thought they had these massive. The one centre back was so big, it was absolutely ridiculous. Just bear with me a second while I put the other one in the camera there. Let's try that now. So let's switch over to that. All right. Is that better? The problem is I can't look now. So we shall see.
Yeah, I think, and I think Stevenage is going to be a real tough game, a real tough game on Tuesday. And over those two Stevenage games back, obviously we play them twice within the space of a month. Well, we play them now and then we play them over Christmas. Honestly, if we can get 4 points from those two games, I'd be pretty happy with that. They're going to be well drilled. They're going to be very difficult. These away trips are really tough. So, look, you've got to, of course, look to win every game, but you don't win every game. It's just a fact of life. We shall see. So, someone tell me, is the picture better now that I've switched over to my phone? Because my laptop was playing, my computer's doing something else. It's all a bit gone wrong technology-wise this evening. So, who impressed you? Because I thought Keane Ashford was absolutely wicked. Like, I genuinely thought he was super good. But technology. Ryan Winter was the one for me. I thought, who else? I thought Isaac Davis was very good when he came on. See what you're just saying about the technology. Still blurred, but sounds not as good. Yeah, see? Right, let's switch back for a minute. And I'll see if I can do some other stuff. Oh my goodness. What's going on? Right, there we go. I'm going to lose my head with this in a minute. Right, I apologise. I do not know what's going on with the old technology this evening. So, right, relax. Right, so the audio should be fine. The picture might be blurry. I don't know why. I will try and fix it as we're going. Stevenage have had a real good season. I was just speaking to their the podcast now, and they at the start of the season they had a good pre-season. They're well drilled. Alex Rebel obviously has his own Cardiff City links. It's the two best defenses in the division, so it's going to be really fascinating to see who blinks. I think we're in real good form. I think the last 2 or 3 games, I think we've been very good. The second half away at, who was it? Wigan, was it? I forget now. There's so many games, but I just think that no, the blurry. I just can't work out why it's gone blurry, because on my end and the back end of it all, it's really good. So I cannot work out for the life of me what's going on with that. It might be a YouTube thing, but let me see if I can. We'll see if we can fix it as we're going along. So yeah, look, it kind of is what it is, isn't it? Stevenage have, I think their recent record in terms of the games, they've won the last 2. They've won 1 in the last 6. So they draw a lot. They've drawn 3 of the last 6. They've drawn 4 in total. Yeah, look, it's going to be a hard game. Very good defense, but we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. I think it's going to be a tough game, and I'm kind of interested in what changes Brian Barry Murphy will make, because I thought Dylan looked a little bit leggy second half. Probably shouldn't have played in the Virtue Trophy, which is like the most meaningless game ever. I don't know why he didn't play Callum Chambers or one of the others, but I wouldn't be desperately shocked if we gave Dylan a rest and brought Chambers in. Not what I would do personally, but I'm not a manager. He does like to rotate, so I could see that. Another change I could see would be Joel Colwell coming into the midfield to give us the extra sort of legs and just a bit of stability. I wouldn't be shocked if we go with, he's had Robinson in the 10, he's had Cayman in the 10, but I wouldn't be shocked if that then switched to Joel Colwell in the 10 and Alex Robertson or even Turnbull in the 8 to just give us 3 genuine midfielders to try and make sure we're a bit more defensively solid. Stevenage will be very difficult to break down. Very difficult to break down. And I think it's going to be a tough game,
In terms of the attacking, look, let's start with, I mentioned him there, Amari Kellyman in the 10. I really thought that was probably his best performance. He only played for, I think, an hour, just over an hour or just under an hour. But he had he got clattered into a couple of times in a short space of time as well. I think he was coming off anyway, but he did get knocked. If he's fit, I'd be tempted to play him again in there. I thought he was really good. His ball carrying, 1 free kicks. His ability to get those long legs and pinch the ball back was really good. He won the ball high up the pitch a few times. He pressed as close to certainly closer to what Ruben gives us than maybe Callum Robinson was able to give in terms of pressing. His vision on the ball to spread the ball out wide was really good. He just looked a real dangerous player, and you could see he's happy in the middle. I was a little bit concerned if he would struggle physically, but actually those two massive lumps of centre backs struggled a little bit with him with his quick feet and gave away a couple of free kicks. So I wouldn't be against the same 11. David Turnbull I thought was very good. I still, like, when I look at the midfield options, and this is, again, it's a personal opinion, right? You guys may have different opinions, but for me, look at that. Twitter's not working either, but there we go. There we go. What's going on with this guy? If I was looking at the midfield options, I'd have Ryan Wintle +1. And if I look at Turnbull, Robertson, and Joel, I'd probably go with Robertson and then Joel. It depends on the game, though. It really depends on the game. I think Joel Colwell has given us so much when he's come off the bench in the last 2 games, when the press is starting to tire, and he's just come on and just given us that real electric energy. Yeah, I would definitely bring Isaac Davis in on the left. Chris Willock, I think, has been really, really good this year. But the last 2 games, I've been a little bit disappointed. So he came back from his injury off the bench in Northampton, and he was electric. Scores a great goal. Really, really good. I'm working on it, mate. I don't know why it's so blurry. I'm trying to fix it. But I was really disappointed the last 2 games with his kind of defensive aspect, and I get that it's not his game, but when you see the work that Keane Ashford puts in to help his fullback, and you see the work Isaac Davis puts in, and even Amari Kellyman tries, it does get a bit frustrating. But on the other side, he is a winger, and what he does give you is he just got a lovely weight of pass to play Joel Bagan in for the overlaps. When Joel makes that overlap, Chris Willock gives it to him, and he gives him a beautiful weight to get a cross in. And I just think that is something that we could probably keep building. However, away from home, against a very good team who was sat in 3rd, do you need the pace of Isaac Davis to try and get in behind on the break, and his defensive work, or do you need the creativity of Chris Willock to unlock the best defense in the league? It's one of them, isn't it? And I guess the manager will have to look at the various things to see what the best option is to try and unlock that Stevenage defense. For me, I don't know, because I thought, as much as I would have liked to have seen a bit more from Chris Willock, I thought his link up with Joe Bagan was excellent. There was actually a couple of times where he maybe could have released it, but generally speaking, I thought he was in possession. He was decent enough. But I tend to, for me, away from home, I would always lean towards pace, because it's going to be a tight game, and pace frightens defenders. Isaac's confident, and Isaac will work back like Keane Ashford does as well. Ashford looks so confident. He was really, he had that fullback on toast yesterday, absolutely on toast. And Brian Barry Murphy, towards the end of the second half, was just telling him, when you get a ball, just go at him, because he didn't want to know. But the fullback was wearing number 11, so I'm not sure whether, he was perhaps
a winger playing out of position or what. I just don't know. But yeah, I just thought we were very good yesterday, you know. And on another day, it would have been 4-5-0. Like you look at their goals. Don't get me wrong. The first one is he's made a great connection with it. It's a good routine, but come on, like a deflected. If it doesn't take a deflection off of Mari Kellyman, Nathan Trott looks like he's got it covered. He gets a hand to it at least. Probably keeps it out, given the form of Nathan Trott as well. But he looked like he had it covered. The deflection takes it in, and then the second one is just, you know, the cross comes in, the Joel Colwell slides to block it, and it kind of just trickles in. They didn't really create anything other than that volley in the first half, which they should have scored off the corner, and that was probably the one mistake Ryan Wintle made in the whole game, was he lost his man on that corner. He didn't do it again, and look, I'm genuinely excited about this Christmas period, because we just feel like we've hit a bit of form in the league. The last 2.5 performances, second half of Northampton, these two games have been really, really good. Like yesterday, and I was speaking to a few Mansfield fans earlier, and they were supremely impressed with the way Cardiff played. They said 3-2 absolutely flattered them. They didn't think that they deserved anything. But you know, in the videos which I do for the preview, obviously I do the preview video. I do the manager's philosophy up against each other, and then we do 3 questions about the game. And you know, I said Huddersfield would try and make it a basketball game. They did. I said that Yusuf Salech, this was the game for him, and it definitely was. And I feel that we're just hitting form at the right time. Just looking, like in the league now, we've scored 9 goals in the last 3 games. We're flying. You know, that Virtue Trophy is obviously the sort of the mark in this run. But actually, going back, do you know, apart from the Wimbledon game, since Blackpool, so since we lost to Blackpool 3-1, we beat Arsenal under-21s 3-1. We beat Northampton 3-1. We beat Mansfield 3-1. And we beat Huddersfield 3-2. We scored 3 goals in every single league game since the Blackpool game. Now, that's a reaction, because that Blackpool performance on the 8th of November was shambolic. But what a reaction since then. What a reaction. For a young squad. 3-1, 3-1, 3-0, 3-2. Jeez, that's a reaction. I didn't quite put it all together until I just looked then. So that's impressive. That is really impressive. And look, people like myself have questioned how we would cope without Ruben. And I did have a little look to see some of the stats since Ruben's been out the side. And one of the things I've mentioned in a few of my videos is how impressed I've been with how well drilled the press is. Like, we have clearly worked on it without Ruben. And in the last 8 league games, we've scored 8 goals in the last 2 league games, and two games in 25 minutes since Ruben got injured, and we've scored 8 goals since. So that's a good reaction to it. And I'm not saying we're better without Ruben by any means. We're certainly not. But what I'm saying is the players as a group are stepping up. We still don't have a settled replacement, I don't think, for number 10. I think, as I said last week, I think Barry Murphy's going to drop in and out different players to see who best fits it. And I just think this team will get better as well. At the moment, I think we're just clicking into gear. But as the season goes, I think we'll get better. And I would really, really like to see, like, if we have a good Christmas period where we win the majority of our games, I do think we could end up being clear. We haven't played away since we lost Ruben, though. That's a very good point, mate. So that'll be interesting. So this is the question, right? Knowing the amount of work that Ruben did for the team away from home,
who do you drop in there? Do you drop one of the two lads who've already done it in Kellyman or in Callum Robinson? You've seen what they can kind of do and their twist on that position. Or do you go with a Joel Colwell, an Alex Robertson, a Kean Ashford, someone different in there? What about this for a plan? So Cardiff City fan just said, if we need pace, isn't Kip Pacquiao better than NG for Tuesday? I'm not sure. So what about if you moved Kean into the 10 for a Stevenage game and you put Kip Pacquiao on the wing? Just to give you defensive solidity, but a bit of pace and a bit of creativity. So that's interesting, BBM mentioning Axel Donksu as well, could play a role. I think it's a big ask. Like, he's so young. I know he's exciting and the rest of it, but he's so young. And I just think you could really make or break someone that young when there's players who we have players who can do that role. So yeah, I'm not so sure about that. Apologies, I'm trying to sort out the picture at the same time as I'm talking, so that's why I keep saying I'm gonna have a look, and I wanted to make mention of the Cardiff City statement today. So I'm going to just bring it up quickly. So Cardiff issued a club statement today on the Emiliano Sala court hearing, which is obviously tomorrow. And it's a really interesting statement because it'll be easy to say nothing. And I think I'm absolutely fed up to the back teeth of media and teams, other teams, fans, and whatever, using this young man's death as a stick to beat Cardiff with and say how disgraceful it is and disgusting and blame Cardiff when they don't care about Emiliano Sala. They just care as using it as a point scoring thing for Cardiff City against Cardiff City fans and Cardiff City as a club. He is, he'd be sadly missed. And make no mistake that FC Nantes and that man should and hopefully will be held accountable for their role in everything. And I really hope that that's the case. Whoever put this statement together for the club, I think did an excellent job. I think is really well written. And it makes the point that I think the point which I just made, but with a bit more professional sort of, they can't come out and say as blunt as what we would like to say. Ultimately, this is something which should be about making sure that nothing like this ever happens again. The agency side of football has been needed to cleaned up for a long time. And look, I know plenty of agents, and some of them are lovely, lovely people. But even they would tell you there's some which are not so lovely. And, what they did is absolutely scandalous. And I hope that they're held to account because someone should be. And they're probably the people that should be. And I think until that's legally pursued and done, they probably won't be. And well, they won't be. And I think that's why it's been important that Cardiff have pursued it. And I've criticised the board and the owner and all these different things over the years. I backed them 100% in this particular court case and what they're trying to do, because it really is important that they pursue it and that they get the correct outcome, because these people need to be held to account. The man was a banned agent. He should have been nowhere near it. And FC Nantes knew that. The man was, by the way, still functioning as an agent 6 months after, but that's another thing. And look, they finished the statement by saying, this isn't about harming football. It's about protecting its integrity. This is about ensuring higher standards across our sport, especially surrounding transfers, because Emiliano Sala deserved better and because football deserves better. And I think that is absolutely hits the nail on the head. And I think, look, you'll get lazy journalists or lazy fans who don't want to, just want to kind of sweep it under the rug and blame Cardiff and blah, blah, blah. You want to use it as a stick to beat Cardiff. But I think it's really important. And I know it brings like a bit of a downer on, a really positive, exciting time on the pitch for the club. But it is important. And I also think it's important that the fans and the club are united on this particular subject and this particular court case, because Emiliano Sala would have been a Cardiff City player if it wasn't for these people. But more importantly, the man would still be alive if it wasn't for the things that they did. And like, that was a young guy with a family, and I don't know, it's just all a bit sad and like so avoidable, and just leaves a real sour taste. So fair play to Vincent Tan, whoever, Mehmet Dalman, Kenneth Cho, or everyone at the club who's working. I know there's a lot of people working hard on it, and I really hope that it doesn't just get delayed and things. That I highly expect it to be delayed again, because that's what they'll do. They still, they were using him months after. But anyway, I don't really want to say much more on that side of it, because I get really frustrated and angry, and I'll end up getting sued, and I haven't got any money. So there we go. But it's a sad one. It's a sad one, and that side of football, there is definitely a real seedy underbelly to football on the agency side. And I've spoken to friends and people involved in the game and agents, and they've had enough of it themselves. You've got to do certain things to get to the big boys and stuff like that, and it just all leaves a bit of a sour taste, and people will say like it's this like the old school kind of type thing, but for me it's just it's a side of football that should be vastly improved. And also, I look at it on the other side of it, and you look at the FIFA and UEFA and the way that they behave, and I think, what hope have you got of improving it? What hope have you got of making sure that seedy underbelly is gone, or that you can make sure that things like this never happen again, when the people at the very top of these organizations are just about as corrupt as it comes. But there we go. It is what it is, I suppose. No, it's nothing. It'll be nothing like that, mate. In terms of, for us, we're pursuing them. Yeah, it's all a bit, leaves a sour taste. But just going back to the Stevenage game, I think it's going to be a really, really difficult game. And like, I know everyone gets carried away, and we're winning, and we're scoring all these goals, and we're top of the league, and like, we should walk it, and we should just beat everyone, like, because that's just the way it is. But like, football doesn't work like that. You have to earn everything. You have to be at it every game. And I also believe that we have got some really difficult fixtures coming up. And I think the away games, if you could avoid getting beat in your away games, win your home games, you're going to be right up there. And now, like, let me ask you this. Next Tuesday, we play Chelsea in the quarterfinal of the League Cup. But in between that, we are playing Doncaster at home and Lincoln at home. Would you rather take 9 points from Stevenage, Doncaster and Lincoln, or get through to the League Cup semi-final? There's a little would you rather. So I'll put that to you all. Would you rather take 9 points from the next 3 league games, or get through to the League Cup semi-final? Would you rather? I'm really struggling with the video. I'm trying to fix it. I don't know what is going on. It might be a StreamYard issue, which is rare in fairness, but just doesn't seem to want to play, which is quite frustrating. It does seem a little bit better, but not much better. I'm working on it. I don't even know. I'm not even sure if the Twitter feed is working whatsoever. It just seems to be pretty poor. So I apologize again for that. Gavin says he'd rather get to a semi-final. Tim O'Brien says he'd take 9 points. Cardiff City fan says 9 points. Really like that. Yeah, I agree with that, Jonathan, regarding FIFA. Fed up with them all, to be quite honest with you. Thank you, mate. Right. So, Graham says, being 65, he'd love a semi. But Gavin says he's have a semi. So that's interesting. Most of you said league points, but a couple of you said they'd take a semi-final. Antonio says, hope you're well. What is your preferred outcome? Win the Carabao Cup or promotion? Oh, see. So, as someone who's seen us lose at Wembley 3 times, but also, win at the Millennium Stadium. Look, you got to take promotion. You got to. But I'm also one who says that you winning trophies is what it's all about. But if you go up as champions, you win a trophy. So I would take promotion. Can we have 7 in a semi-final? Yeah, do you know what? I would love to beat Chelsea. I don't like them very much. I think the way they've spent money over the last couple of seasons has been absolutely outrageous. I think the way they treat young players is absolutely outrageous. And it's like not what football's about. But if ever there was a club which treats players like commodities and just moves them in and out and doesn't really care about their development and whatever, it's probably them. But yeah, I'll always take the league form, to be honest with you. I think that's what it's about this year is the league form. Absolutely, 100% all day long, and twice on Sundays. Get the points on the board in the league. As I've said before, I think if we are able to have a really strong run from now until Boxing Day, then we are flying. And there, Martin, you've hit the nail on the head, which is I didn't even allude to that side of it. If we don't get promoted, we will lose half this team. If we don't get promoted this year, Dylan Lawler will be gone, and he might go anyway. Kipaki, Ruben Corwell, maybe Joel Corwell, like they'll all be gone. And then we've got to restart again with a load of youngsters who've never played men's football, and they might not be as good as these ones. So, yeah, I'm not so. I'm not really. All I want to know is I want to go up as champions. Me, that's what I want. I want these young players to experience winning a league, because for these young players, this season is massive. It's like how many of them are playing their first season as men's football, and I just believe that if we can go up automatic, but I would prefer to go up as champions. Imagine like mentally what that does for these young footballers. And I really believe that most of this team can step up into the championship. You'd obviously need a few players. You also lose Trot if you don't get promoted as well. You obviously would need to sign a few players, but I believe that the majority of these youngsters can make the step up to the championship and do it quite well as well. Right, so Cardiff City fan Corey, I think it is, says, "Si, do you think we keep hold of Lawler and Kipaki for the season at least?" So I did ask a question to a couple of people about January, and I was told the same thing I was told in the summer, which is nobody's for sale in January. However, I think it's different for different players, and it depends on what club comes in for those players. Put simply, but generally speaking, I think the club will do everything they can to keep the squad together until the summer, and then you've got to reassess. Like, I do think there's a chance that a couple will go in the summer of the young lads, and hopefully you can get them back on loan next season. But you've got to be realistic. Like, it's just the way it is in terms of when you've got this much young talent. And it's not just the academy boys, by the way. There'll be clubs sniffing around Alex Robertson. There'll be clubs sniffing around Yusuf Salech. You know, Yusuf could have gone in the summer. Didn't. There's other players who've had clubs and interests. I just hope, like, you're right there, right, Graham? Everybody's got a price. Everybody has got a price. My hope is that Cardiff City's board, and particularly their owner, know the value of what they've got, and they sell better than we have historically. But that's a lot of hope, because we don't sell well historically, and I'm not convinced that, how can I put this? I'm not convinced that they know what they've got in some ranks. So don't get me wrong. I think the people who are at the club day to day, they know exactly what they got. But so this is an interesting one, and I'm kind of interested by this because I think there was a general swell probably 3, 4, 5 games ago that David Turnbull sell him in January and bring someone else in, and Corey's just said here. I said sell Turnbull in January. Not sure if I would now, but the thing is, if we were to sign another midfielder, we would have loads. Yeah, I think if we were to sign another midfielder, you'd have to probably sell one. I think Turnbull is starting to show his worth. I still feel like the others offer a little bit more kind of energy and progressive passing, but I really thought he was good. Like David Turnbull yesterday, I thought was really good. He was looking forward. He was being progressive. He was quite aggressive in his tackling, but his ability to stay, like, hold his position a little bit, it gives the rest of the team a bit of stability. But I still would stand by that if we would give Alex Robertson a run in the team alongside Ryan Wintle, I think we'd probably go on another level and play some real good football, because I just think he's such a good footballer. And in this system and the way that we want to play, it just suits him so much. Gavin says Sheffield United looked at Keane Ashford. The club turned it down last summer. Yeah, there's a few been knocking about. The club said in the summer, and I was told time and time and time again in the summer, like, no one is for sale. After they'd released the players they wanted to release, no one is for sale. So yeah, that's where it is. I was told yesterday that no one's for sale in January. However, I guess if they want to bring people in, they might have to loan a few players out to make room. And as we said earlier, everybody's got a price. Like, everybody's got a price. They will have, I would imagine, a price for every player in that squad who, if we get this much, then they can go. But generally speaking, do you know one which no one's talking about, which I think club might come in for, is Joel Bagan. This kid, right, was he 23? He's been so consistent this year, like so consistent, and not just like, he gives you 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10 every week. He's been like 8, 9 out of 10 most weeks. He's just so good going forward and defensively. Very, very intelligent in his positioning and his decision making on where and when to cross from as well. I wouldn't be shocked if anyone came in for him, like a championship club just came in for him, because if you need a left back, he'd be a very good choice. And this is the problem or the worry that we will have. January is going to be like not nice. Make no mistakes. Can we like skip to the end of January now? Because I think it's going to be upsetting. Someone asked in one of the comments on one of the videos, is the rumour mill's coming back on the member section in January? Yeah, it'll definitely be back. Where we discuss all the ridiculous stuff that I hear over the previous week, because I hear a lot of stuff. JT says, I'd sell Turnbull tomorrow. He's a stopgap midfielder that will lose his place when Ruben's back and when we sign a new midfielder. I don't know if he loses his place though, mate, because he doesn't play in the same position. But I know I accept, like, I think if you sign a new midfielder, he might be the one to go. But then I wouldn't be shocked if Alex was sold simply because, for whatever reason, the manager, out of the three of them, the manager seems to like Turnbull and Joel Colwell. But maybe there's I don't know, maybe with Alex, he's not quite up there fitness-wise or whatever. I don't know. But the manager just likes to rotate as well, like, ultimately. So maybe there's nothing in it in personnel-wise. I was interested by something Perry Ng said yesterday about the manager likes to change things around week to week. So we all have to be ready to make an impact and to play. And I thought that was a great attitude. I've been fascinated watching, like, listening to Perry Ng this season. Really, really been really happy with, like, hearing him speak, because he just seems so happy and genuinely, like, just enjoying his football. And I thought yesterday he looked like the old Perry Ng. I was really super happy to see that. And look, with Perry, I think this is the Perry Ng that everyone wanted to see, because he's such a good footballer and he looks back to his best. And I'm down with that, like, it's big time, because I think you could put him or Ronan Kapacchio at right back, and I don't think it hurts you either way. I think Ronan Kapacchio was really, really improved his defensive side of his game throughout the season, and it doesn't worry me anymore. Yeah. You said, Martin, you are right. So Martin says, if you're top of the league, you attract attention. Selling Bagan would be nonsensical, given he's our only natural left back at the club. It is, and you're right, of course. Would it shock you, though, if we're all thinking, like, we need a left back because we've only got one, and then they sold the one? Yeah, I could see it. I don't think he's coming over for the Chelsea game. He wasn't the last I heard, but who knows? I would think that wouldn't be the best game for him to come. But that's just me. So here's an interesting one then to finish off. Technology problems are beating me today. How about this? What would your 11 be for the Chelsea game? Bearing in mind we got Lincoln and Doncaster either side. Because I think it's, like I said, like the Lincoln game and the Donny games are much more important than Chelsea game for me. Chelsea game for me is just a bonus. And it's going to be very difficult. Like Lincoln in fourth. We play Lincoln, Stevenage, over this sort of period. We got some real tough games coming up over December. We got Lincoln, Stevenage, we play Exeter, then we play Stevenage again. And then right at the start of January, we play Wickham, Wigan, Bradford. Then middle of January, that's the one we play. There's a period towards the end of January where we play Bradford away, Stockport home, and then Barnsley at home. Come out the end of January and we're still top of the league. I'll have full belief that we're going to win it, because we got a lot of tough games over the December and January. A lot of tough games, all the sort of better teams in the league. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough month. Let's have a look what the people are saying. Cardiff City fan says, to be fair, Spears could go on the bench if anything happened with Bagan. We'd still get a left back in summer. Gavin says how he doesn't get picked for Ireland is crazy. Yeah, it is mad, isn't it? Really, when you think of it. Graham says he thinks BBM will put his strongest team out against Chelsea. He wants to win every game. Joel says go strong against Chelsea. Corey says Trot, NG, Fish, Lawler, Bagan, Wintle, Turnbull, Ashford, Willock, Salech and Robinson for Chelsea. Quite attacking. Gavin says strong as you can against Chelsea. They'll be a full stadium and the young kids won't handle that. Yeah, I just wondered whether it might be one where you can give like Chambers and Osho a go. I wouldn't, but I would love to see us. I would love to see us go with like the young squad, like the young side, the one that we started the season with, basically, like Pacquiao and Fish, Lawler, Bagan, Joel Colwell, Wintle, obviously no Ruben, so maybe you put Kellyman in there and Ashford and Isaac on the bench and go like full kind of young player mode or something like that, like academy players. I don't know. But then that's a game where someone like Alex Robertson, maybe even David Turnbull, could really thrive because they'll have time on the ball because of the way that Chelsea will look to play. Be a hard game. Don't get me wrong. It's going to. The atmosphere should be good though. Sell out. I'm sure Chelsea will bring good numbers. They usually do. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm so set on the league now that like I can't get myself like properly up for these like cup games, like Virtue Trophy and Carabao Cup. I know it's a quarterfinal. I'm sure when the game comes close, I'll be like in the mood for it. But it's more because I'm so focused on the league now. Yesterday was big because I thought Huddersfield would be difficult, and I just thought we played them out off the park completely. Looks like Chelsea have sold out, but looks of it. Doesn't look like there's any left for Chelsea. So there we go. That's good. Have Cardiff sold out? I don't think we have we? I think there's still tickets left. Cardiff, Chelsea. Tickets. We see now. So, right, if you've got any questions, let me know ASAP, because I'm going to wrap it up now. The technology side of tonight's show has really beat me up, and it's just brutal. Let's have a look at some of the comments, though. Antonio Starry says Chelsea will underestimate us, treat it like a conference league and play the youth side. They might do. I'd have to have a look at what sort of players they play. They got so many players. They got like 3-4 sides in their squad, which is so good. Like their squad players would probably, be. Kellyman won't be able to play anyway. Of course he won't. So, well, there's no way I would drop in Will Fish. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, he's got Callum Robinson's record against Chelsea is very, very good. 3,000 tickets sold by Chelsea. We got 200 left. So, yeah. Nice. But welcome, Matthew. Thanks for joining us. See you later. I'm only joking. Yeah, they've got, mate, their Chelsea squad is insane. And the thing with Chelsea, right, in my opinion, is the young players that they don't play as much are probably their best players, apart from Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez. You know, like you got Estavo, who's come into the side recently, he's playing well. Garnacho, like their side is just ridiculous. They got Boanate, Liam Delap, like it's Jamie Gittin, like they got just this endless list of players. Andre Santos, you know, I think Raheem Sterling's still there. They got so many players. Lavia, Desai, Neto, Gusto, Reece James, Fofana. Like, this is just a ridiculous situation. Because half of these players don't play. Ludicrous. But they got some really, really good youngsters. Really good youngsters. But their squad is absolutely insane, and I don't like the way they go about it. Like I said that earlier, I don't like the way they go about it. I don't like the way they treat the players. But it is what it is, I suppose. When you got that much money, you just don't care. They've certainly been interested, haven't they, with their FFP workings. Fish will have him in his pocket anyway. So what would Chelsea's reserve 11 look like? Let's have a look. So reserve keeper would be Jorgensen, probably. Reserve. So you've got Tosin, Batashai, Levi Colwell play the first team. Maybe Trevor Chawala would play. Who else would play? Wesley Fofana. He's poop. Salech will have him for breakfast. Mudryk, he would get absolutely munched by the fullbacks. Look, they got some ridiculous talent. Lavia. It's just a ridiculous squad. But there we go. Doesn't matter. Because we've got a ridiculous squad of youngsters. And I hope they take us lightly, because they also they have a capacity to completely capitulate as well. So like, if we're at it and we get into them, and we can play football as well, by the way, let's not forget that. It could be a exciting night. I think it's going to end up like 4-3. So my last couple of previews, I've done very well with our score predictions. 3-2, I said on Saturday. Boom, boom. So I'm not doing a manager versus manager video for the midweek ones. I just haven't got the time to do it in the turnaround from Saturday to Sunday with everything else. So that'll be a weekend thing, but it went really well. So we had the preview out Friday lunchtime. Friday night, then it's the manager v manager, and then Saturday morning before the game, it's 3 questions about the game. And yeah, they went really well. I like that layout. People seem to like the manager v manager sort of style, tactics v tactics. It gives a bit of an insight, and I'm proud to say that the preview and the manager v manager video was pretty spot on this week in how it all played out. So I'm glad that the research and the watching of Huddersfield paid off. But I'm a bit gutted, because I would have liked to have done it on Stevenage, and the guys on the Stevenage podcast are going to help me out with that as well. But yeah, I just haven't got time to do it. If you're around in the morning, make sure tune into Newport City Radio from 11 o'clock. I'll be there playing some music. Tomorrow night, Cardiff City phone in, and a member show with, I think it's Matt and Reese, if I can't remember. Tuesday, I'll be around post-match. Obviously, we'll have the preview and stuff. We've got another video coming out. I'm going to do a video on XG, which one of the members requested. I think it was Jonathan. So we're going to explain XG. Someone else asked for something else, which I'll do as well. I'll do the XG video, probably be out Wednesday, I think. Maybe. No, 5 things will be Wednesday, so it might be Thursday. Preview tomorrow. And then we'll see where we are. But yeah, I think like having Ruben Colwell and Amari Kellyman out on the Chelsea game is a big blow, in it, because I think they both give you that bit of spark. However, I think it's a good opportunity for Callum Robinson to continue his excellent record of beating or scoring at least against Chelsea. But a 2-legged semi-final in the League Cup is not what we need in the run-in, is it? Is Pacquiao banned from that, is he? Oh, that's disappointing. Would have been a good game for him. Such is life. Right, guys, I apologise about the technology issues. I've sent a message to StreamYard to see what's going on with that. I don't really get it. Don't know why it's doing it, but hopefully the audio was okay. I'll be back on my normal computer tomorrow anyway. So not to fear, but I do apologise. Thank you so much. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you haven't already, become a member, because that allows us to do content 7 days a week. It allows us to go and interview people, like traveling and going to interview, Dave Jones. I did recently. I'm doing some more episodes of Inside the EFL in the new year. And the memberships is what allows us to do that, because without the members, we wouldn't be able to do 7 days a week content. So indeed. So look after yourselves. I'll be back in the morning with a preview. And of course, don't forget Cardiff City Phone In and the member show tomorrow. So 3 bits of content. And if you're allowed to listen to the radio at work or whatever in the morning, Newport City Radio from 11 in the morning with Si. Thank you so much. Take care. Keep the faith. And I'll see you in a bit. This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans, for fans, balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.